So what we want to do is start controlling our thinking. Stay off that TV. You know, now I've been making videos. Most guys been watching football games all day, playing poker, somewhere jacking off, you know. So they're not really concerned, or they don't want to think about it. I know a lot of brothers, they don't want to really think about stuff like what I'm talking about. You know, they know deep down inside that it makes good sense, because you could tell how things are going. So I know that they don't want to think about it so much. I was looking at this is a sidetrack. I was looking at some of my pictures on YouTube, about photos on YouTube, and it looks like I'm deformed sometimes, but I'm not a photogenic type guy anyway. But I'm not concerned with this right here, my outer appearance. I'm mostly concerned with my inner appearance and how I think. I never was the type of guy, I didn't want nobody to control me. That's why I didn't, when I got drunk a couple of times, I said, man, I can't control myself drunk, Even when I smoked the herb, I still wasn't in control of myself, And it's hard being in control of all your faculties, man. When you got electrical negative vibrations coming at you all the time. And so I want to be clear mind. A warrior, he's got to have a clear mind, and he's got to be in control of all his body members. His faculties got to be on point, man. And some of us, we over-sex ourselves. We had too much sex. That's all we got on our minds. Sometimes we got making that money is all on our minds. Ain't nothing wrong with that making money. I don't want you to think that I don't say get that buck, But when you get the buck, just like if a cat, for example, hit the lottery, hit the lotto, and he hit for some millions. They did a survey and study saying that half of them cats die broke. Because when you had that lotto, and you got all this money, you give most of it right back to the state that's giving the lotto. He the house man. I don't know if you ever heard about have you ever been in after hour joints? In Detroit, we used to have them all the time. Did I say this is Cyberspace Ministry and I'm Black Light? Well, now you know. We had after hour joints, and in that after hour joint, you had a room where they be gambling, a room where they be having prostitutes. You have a room where they might be playing cards, different various of gambling they would have in each room. They would have sex shows and so forth, where you could buy you a prostitute. Well, if you look at some of the more Western movies, out in the frontier, they build up these little settlements and towns, and that would be the main thing. They would have a local store where you can get goods at, and they would have a corral where you could take care of your animals. And then they had this bar, and up over this bar might be prostitutes, and they might be gambling. But that's how the United States is set up, a big after hour joint, and they get rich off of your pleasures, And if you ain't got no pleasures, they'll manufacture some pleasures for you. Like, they got all these different kind of drugs they got out, that you be getting hooked on, see. So Your money go there to the dope man, and he buying refrigerators, cars, and stuff off of your dollar, and you ain't got no. You go home, you ain't got no groceries. And you might not even have a refrigerator to put your groceries in. You know, you getting other people rich. You got other people's brand names on your butt, getting them rich. All they did was put their name on some jeans or something. Players in Detroit used to be this joint called Hot Sam's, man. We used to get suits. We used to wear suits when I was coming up. Silk suits, mohair, shy skin, whatever, shadow stripe. And if you got maybe about $600 or $700, you could go in Hot Sam's and say, man, I want to get my wardrobe together. And he'll take you to the back room where the high rollers go. And you could get maybe 4 suits, and he'll throw in a couple of extra ones. And then he say, you want me to put a label in there, a brand name in there? We'll sew one in there for you. You know. And that's all y'all be paying for is a label. A little patch, you know, with somebody's name on it. And y'all be paying for that. Y'all done turned into suckers, man. On every level. You know. You go to the grocery store, you know, and the cuts of meat that they had when I was coming up, they don't have it now. Crown roast, you know, and everything, you know. They don't have those kind of cuts no more. They didn't even went up on chitlins, man. The worst part of the pig it is. People be buying that like it's a delicacy, man. They be paying big bucks for some chitlins. Stinky, nasty chitlins, man. You know, that's why they call us boy and call us girl and niggas. Because we can't see. We blind, deaf and dumb. And we can't see. All we into is pleasure. You know, how we feel. That's all we want to, you know, is feel good, man. Cause we depressed because we know we being suckered. We ain't nothing but a bunch of tricks. You know. And then what make it so bad, our own people do the same thing as the Caucasian. You think they down with you and they suck you. See, I had my grandfather, both on my mother and father's side. My grandfather on my daddy's side ran a big after-hour joint. My grandfather on my mother's, her daddy was a pimp and a con artist. You know. And I had 2 uncles that were gangsters and pimps and hustlers. So I know the hustle game, man. That's all United States is. It's a big hustle. You know, they done expanded that settlement, that frontier town, you know, to a big hustle. The plantation ain't nothing but hustling. You know, business, man. Business is war. War is business. See, we too nice, you know, and sympathetic, and our women, you know, they the mothers of civilization. So they always gonna mother. They think they could mother you back into. They think they could mother the devil into being an angel. You know, he's God's child. There's no such thing as a devil. He's God's child too. God loves all. That's all God is love. Man, come on, wake up. You got to wake up, man. Do you love your children? Do you love? I'm asking y'all, the grandmamas. Do you love your children? Do you honestly think that They gonna survive what's getting ready to happen? Are they prepared? Do you honestly think Jesus is gonna come back and save you? I don't even think the mothership gonna come back and save us. You know? I think that the mothership, I really do believe there's a mothership, because I seen it one time when I was young. I know y'all don't believe me. Y'all think I'm crazy, but I did when I was about 12 years old in the 50s. Around 58, I seen the mothership. It was doing a show for me, or a plane from the mothership. It wasn't the mothership because the mothership was big, but this was like a little plane, a little flying saucer or something, you know. And the guy, I was cutting grass, and the guy next door, I say, man, look at that. And we watched it do its thing, dancing in the sky for about 5 minutes. It'll stay still in one spot, then it'll shoot over here, stay still, shoot over there, stay still. It did that for a minute, then it was gone. But the reason why I don't think the mother ship or save us, I think they'll step in when they try to knock us off. But I do think that the mothership is preparing people like me and other brothers around, that we don't have to really depend on the mothership. We're going to have to depend on the mothership within ourselves, you know. And, you know, because they working through this right here, this telepathy. These thoughts are not my thoughts. Although I believe I'm prepared, I was prepared for this day and this time. Because when I was young, I used to be observing. I observed everything around me. Mother Nature, the clouds. I observed the white man. Never was scared of him. Not scared of him now. You know, I don't fear nobody. You know. And, you know, I know this, man. I know you don't fight with your physical body. All y'all fools out there, y'all pumping iron. And y'all think, oh yeah, you know, I got the guns up here. Man, it ain't about that. It's about this, man. It's the deadliest weapon it is. It's the mind. How fast you think. You know. You could take, if you think 5 moves ahead in chess, anticipate the guy's move, you won the game. So, same with combat, same with fighting. You know your opponent. That's why Ali used to study his opponents. You know, he studied for him. He found out his weaknesses. He studied Frazier. You know. So, he was a mental guy. Ali was a mental guy. He was a mental warrior. And there's a whole lot of guys out there like me and Ali, they mental warriors. And we up here trying to get our people together. That's what Ali was doing. He was a champion for the people, trying to get his people together. All the brothers was. Malcolm, you know, but they be turning people, you know, they know how to turn you. You know, if you get too much money and too much power, if you ain't strong, you gonna turn, man. So we got to be as one. But first you got to be as one in yourself. I got some more rap, man. I ain't through rapping, man. You know, for you. But I think I'm going to end this We As One series and approach it from another angle. And We As One, we're going to end it on this note. People, we got to come together. Man, woman, child, elders, and the youngins.